Hello and welcome everyone. Good morning from Turkey. It's great to see so many familiar faces and the new ones in the room today. We are here to talk about mobile app marketing, and more specifically, we are here to talk about what actually changed over the past year and what that it means for how we operate going forward in 2026. Beginning of 2025, the industry felt confident about a few things. AI would speed up everything, creative volume would explode, automation would make more growth, and with the right tools, we would able to scale user acquisition efficiently. Actually, what happened is a little bit different. Yes, AI lowered the cost of production. Yes, testing cycles became faster and faster. But at the same time, competition intensified, signal noise increased, and many of the playbooks that felt reliable stopped working as expected. CPMs didn't magically go down. Creative fatigue became one of the real pain in the neck this year, and growth didn't become easier because of what just because we could produce more assets. In fact, 2025 challenged some of most widely held assumptions of how acquisitions, engagement, monetization really work in AI-driven markets. And that's why today's discussion matters. And in this sense, I would like to introduce you our each panelist one by one, and then we will start with the questions. Firstly, Sasha, can you tell a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. My name is Sasha. I'm CEO and founder at Spiral. We're building AI growth engine for mobile apps. My experience, I have been doing paid growth for the last 8 years for mobile apps, specifically subscription, non-subscription apps. Have managed over $30 million on paid ads myself, and excited about AI creators and being here.
Thank you so much. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Ece Bağker, founder of App Leads Agency. My expertise in on Apple searches and App Store optimization. And let's drop our LinkedIn to the chat so that we will have better network. So, Mukul, this is your turn.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mukul Kaushik, and I'm the CRO at AppDrove and Tracker. So I primarily work at the intersection of growth, attribution, and revenue for performance and mobile teams all across the globe. And we've been in the business for last 9 years, and really excited to join this panel along with these fellow panelists. And thanks a lot to Social Peta for this opportunity.
Thank you. Çağatay?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Çağatay. I'm the key account manager at Social Peta in my region. At Social Peta, I partner with top brands and developers to decode market trends and optimize advertising strategies and scale user growth using real-time global data. So I'm thrilled to share the actionable insights from the last year's data today about the trend trends.
Amazing. And lastly, Elena.
Hi everyone. My name is Elena. I'm heading the traffic sources department at the Campaign agency for the last, I would say, 5 years. Campaign is full circle agency with a prime focus on performance marketing, and we also have our creative production department, which I suppose allows us to observe the market both from creative side and performance side as well.
Mhm. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, my first question to everyone here, for each panelist, please feel free to raise an hand and just join the answer. Looking at back to 2025, which widely held assumption in mobile app marketing was most clearly challenged by real-world data or campaign performance? How did this shift, understanding the shape of your view on of user acquisition, engagement, and monetization actually work in today's market?
Was the first one, so I can speak, I believe. Is it
Yeah,
fine?
yeah, you can go, Sasha.
Um, yeah, so I believe in 2025, at least I was expecting a year of intelligence, right? I was expecting that we'll have this agents, that will have such intelligent system that AI will change the paid acquisition, like user acquisition, by a ton. But actually, what we saw, I believe, that AI is great at producing high quantity of pretty good work at a very short amount of time, and this scaled the creative production to another universe, I would say. We see right now that companies, I just made some data from January, and we see right now that some apps launch thousands of ads per day at this point. So some ads launch like dozens, hundreds of ads per month. So it's basically AI unlock huge volume, huge data to be produced, but the intelligence is not there yet. And I think what will happen in 2026, we'll see this intelligence system emerging that actually can close the feedback loop back into the creative production engine. So meaning that right now AI allows basically teams to produce like multiple different angles, variations, and etc. But then humans are still the experts who pick these ads and edit them and to push them to production. But I believe what we'll see this year, the emergence of the systems that actually have the feedback loop built in, and they can run semi-autonomously. So in terms of 2025 was clearly year of volume and quantity, but not intelligence yet. And I think in 2026 we'll see some intelligent systems built.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. So once AI stepped in, we were expecting more like intelligence part, but actually artificial part was the champion. And we were expecting all the CPMs were going down because of the producing more, but it didn't happen. So we can expect now the not quantity but the quality part of AI can step in 2026. By the way, some of our panelists post their LinkedIn profile, not to everyone. So if you can change it from the chat, that would be awesome. Anyone else?
Yeah, so I fairly agree to what just Sasha said. It's all about 2025 was thought about AI coming into the picture and then things evolving at a very fast and rapid pace with respect to faster optimization. And it was a belief that I would say that got broken in 2025, that faster optimization and faster signals doesn't really mean fast growth. And we also witnessed this with one of the app that we were working with. So on the very first week, the campaign looked very good, very positive on papers. It had great CPIs and strong engagement, and it followed for a week. And then maybe when we realized and saw the cohorts for 30 to 60 days, we got to see that the lifetime value was also dropping. So that completely challenged the idea that the early performance doesn't really tell you the full story. And also with few of the apps that we saw that people were witnessing a lot of different events and different levers. And it was not about tracking all those events, but it was always about tracking those events that really mattered and really contributed into revenue and retention. So, as a key takeaway for this, it would be more user acquisition. It's not just being about hyperactive, but also better decision making. And engagement is not, I would say, the main North Pole anymore. And at the same time, monetization isn't something that you need to fix later on. It has to be fixed at the very same time once you notice it. It is not about to spend the budget in the campaign for, let's say, a month or so. You need to act on it as soon as possible.
Great answer. Thank you so much, Mukul. Is there anyone else? If not,
Uh, I
yeah,
can
sure.
answer the question. I agree with both Mukul and Sasha, and the AI is going to be very important this year, and it will affect the trendings, etc. But when we looked into 2025, there was a widely held assumption that we could solve almost any growth problems with the technical targeting granularity. But algorithms, when we have the enough that algorithm will eventually find the perfect user. But the data, real data, is dismantled that idea. So real-world performance showed us that targeting and bidding systems stabilized across platforms by creative execution, not the media buying, but became a primer driver of the ROI. So we moved from the world of finding audience to attracting them through high velocity creative testing. So this shift has fundamentally reshaped how we view the industry, especially when we used to think about programmatic socials was the only path to scale. In 2025, we saw a massive resurgence in intent-based traffic because of the privacy constraints made price highs targeting harder. Environments like Apple Search Ads and Store Search became most resilient channels. So we also saw interactive formats like playable ads move to mainstream. So they aren't just for games anymore. They are used to be like pre-qualified non-gaming users by letting them experience value before they install. So, in
Thank
short, 2025 taught us the growth is no longer post-launch optimization. It's an integrated system. So winners today are the teams running fast, bridging gap between creative signals and real product outcomes.
yeah. Thank you, Çağatay. Then let's talk about creatives. Sorry, Elena.
Yeah.
Like
So
say something? Sorry about it.
yeah, sure. I definitely agree that AI is the main topic of 2025. And I also think almost everyone noticed a very strong trend toward automation and simplification. Large platforms are launching more and more AI assistants, auto setups, and one-click campaign launches. And at the same time, there's still some part of the community who's actively pushing back and rejecting the aggressive adoption of AI. But I also see lots of headlines like 5 prompts that will replace your media buying team or your designers. And at Champagne, I work closely with both media buying teams and creative production, so I can see how this looks in real life. And I think the biggest assumption is that was challenged in 2025 is the idea that and automation can fully replace people in performance marketing. I think humans are still necessary, and that's a good point. But we can bring to 2026. What we actually saw is that AI is very good at execution, speed, and scaling, but it still needs strong human direction, I would say. While some large teams are already building in fully AI-driven infrastructures, as Sasha mentioned as well, most of the markets still focused on using AI as a tool, and in practice, the approach, I think, has proven to be more flexible and easier to adapt to fast-changing market conditions. So I think the real shift in 2025 was not from people to AI, but from hands-on execution to strategic thinking.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much, Elena. It was actually like not only the good answer, but also great summary of what we had to talk about. Now let's talk about more on creatives. So my first question will be directing to Sasha. From Spiral's perspective, how did AI adoption change the role of creatives in 2025? And which shifts in production or testing most improve the performance? And what capabilities will creative teams need most in 2026? So AI definitely affected maybe most in creatives, and we are really wondering your opinions on it.
Uh, yeah. So the first thing I would say is that creative production was always the kind of the mode of big apps, major mobile apps, and building a efficient system of creative production that actually were collaborating deeply with UA managers that could bring new ideas and new trends to life was very important for the success of major apps like, I don't know, you can think about Genesis companies, Coldway, etc. These app studios who actually build this at scale, the creative production. Now it's becoming less and less of a mode, which is interesting, and that's why we see that competition increases in mobile apps, and that maybe you have seen these charts of mobile apps, new mobile apps added to App Store, and the chart is going like this. So it's like a hockey stick, which is interesting here. So creative production less and less is a mode. And we will see some transitions and interesting know-hows here, I would say. But in terms of the another trends that we see, ad metrics becoming more and more like accurate and clear. For example, Meta released like in January, they released sorting by impressions. So now it's very clear and accurate. You can see which ads are scaling by your competitors or any app in your niche, in other niches. So Meta gives more observability in terms of which ads are working. So it's now even like you can automate tracking of your competitor ads, you can automate a remixing of your competitor ads. So right now, the mode of creating multiple Facebook pages and the fog of war, let's say, is disappeared in a way. So it's now very clear what's working for your competitor too, and you can using AI tools to remix any ad. So my question is that what brings you this competitive advantage when any team can quickly replicate your web funnel, quickly replicate your app onboarding and launch a similar ad with similar ads? So that's a question for this year for me that I want to answer myself. But in terms of the trends that I see, clearly that's what is working. I would say AI localization works. So you can, we have seen many great examples of companies running AI and non-AI ads. They translate these top performing ads to multiple languages and launch dynamic creative. And this is what we have seen working really well for many different mobile apps. So basically, once you have identified a top performer video or static ad, you translate it to multiple languages, you launch on Meta ads, you launch dynamic creative, and you upload four, five, six different like the same ads in different languages and run them. And Meta started to optimize these ads. And if you go to some top apps and you check their ads by impressions, you will see many of those dynamic ads, I would say. Another interesting thing that I think was a trend in 2025 is that cost of software dropped by a lot. So producing not only ads became easier, but producing apps. So we have seen many apps go horizontal in terms of you can look at micro learning niche and you will see they started to pop up new web funnels with different, I don't know, history learning, math learning, cinema lovers. So whatever they come to mind, whatever comes to their mind, and they can test it really quick. And so I would say like this horizontal, some apps can go horizontal with micro learning, for example, but some apps, just like some app studios start to produce like many different apps and testing them out really quickly before pushing and doubling down on them in terms of the acquisition. And my last take will be, and that's for example what Elena said, is that human taste becomes more and more important in the age when AI can actually deliver huge amount of work faster than any human could be, and AI can work on autopilot and be this autonomous system. And I think really understanding, spotting human psychology trends, consumer behavior trends, and where the culture is shifting and moving is actually what will differentiate creative producers, user acquisition managers of the future. So I believe human taste is becoming increasingly important and more important than ever, honestly. So yeah, mechanics change, fundamentals of marketing stay the same. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would say this.
I was going to ask you, like, out of the curiosity, if there's any trends that you are seeing coming in 2026, but I think human touch would be a new trend among these AI creative fatigues.
Yeah, I think so.
So, okay, excited to see. So let's talk about monetization then. Mukul, my question is to you. Across AppTrue's clients, which full funnel or revenue signals actually drove growth decision in 2025? And how should marketers adjust their planning for 2026 for
So yes,
growth?
in 2025, what we noticed was, let's say, the biggest shift from letting go of volume as the main thing. Installs still mattered, CPI also mattered, but at the same time, brands started to think towards which user brings them money over the time. So across all the clients that we've onboarded and the ones that have been working with us from over the course of years before 2025, so we noticed that I would say post-install revenue quality became the real filter, because once teams started looking beyond day zero, day one, and started to ask what does the cohort looks like on day 7, day 14, day 30, they got to know that the channels that looked expensive or maybe gave return on investment later on ended up winning revenue in a very short span of time. So it was more about looking at post install revenue quality and not just on a very short term. And also retention tied to the monetization, I would say, because the DAU's sessions were no longer as impressive as they used to be. And the user that came back after retargeting campaigns, and if they were moving closer to the paywalls, then it was a good customer. If that gave a repeat purchase, that was a good customer. So retention tied to monetization has something to never be looked upon as. And also the third would be source level monetization. So every source, instead of just optimizing the campaign at high level, teams began optimization towards the publisher, towards the creative, like Sasha mentioned about, and geos, and cutting anything that looked good on surface but did not compound over the time. So it has to be boiled down onto various sources that are performing well and that are not, and then taking decisions in a better way, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, great answer. Definitely retention ties to the revenue, and we will see more and more changes in funnel upcoming 2026. So, Çağatay, my question is to you. From Social Peta's global ad intelligence, what were the biggest shifts in creative strategy and media allocation in 2025? This is one of the questions I'm looking for the answers. I'm look like all the questions are matters, but the creative strategy and media allocation, I really wonder how is your answer will be. And how should app teams use competitive intelligence to make better UA and market entry decisions in 2026?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for the questions. I think Sasha briefly explained how can you use your competitor creatives or the top brands creatives to optimize your campaigns. So Meta provide this information from its library. Social Peta provides information about various networks on the high performing ad creatives. So in 2025, mobile app marketing shifted from broad expansion towards the refined data-driven operations and highly sophisticated creative strategies. So as a technical targeting declined due to price constraints, creative execution became primary differentiator. So if we check the significant creative and media shifts from last year, the surge in creative volume and speed was hyper competitive with the advertisers deploying an average 123 creatives per month into 2025. It was up to almost 20% from the previous year, and creative lifespans in major markets are often dropped below 5 days, forcing teams to move from monthly to weekly iteration cycles. Uh, the second shift is the short dominance of the short form videos. So on the video creatives accounted for 84% of all creatives. High density, fast-paced clips are 15 to 30 seconds. If you aligning with the dynamics of the platforms with the TikTok, Instagram, or Shorts, YouTube Shorts. On the vertical sides, trends for AI GC apps, while the number of the AI advertisers declined actually last year, the creative investment per advertiser surged like 5% as leading players focused on deeper engagement and spending. On gaming side, RPGs remained the most competitive genre, like averaging over 250 creatives per game monthly. On the shopping side, UA spend is vertical jump like over 70%, especially on iOS. It was more than 123%, largely driven by the Chinese-based e-commerce expansion like Temu. On regional dynamics, North America saw a massive increase in total creative volume, like 37%. Meanwhile, Japan and South Korea emerged as a high potential hubs for AI apps, with the creative volumes surging over the 260%. The second part of your question, how to leverage intelligence for the this year decisions. You can embrace AI as a table stakes, as everybody mentioned that this year AI is no longer a competitive advantage, but a necessity for the automated creative production, predictive bidding, and real-time campaign optimization. Secondly, you can prioritize the retention first UA, like move beyond day zero install metrics to quality scores based on day 30 retention. Teams should benchmark their competitors' long-term users' behavior patterns to identify which high LTV segments are worth rising cost of acquisition. Solve app fatigue with immersive creative. It's important, to leverage competitive intelligence to identify gaps in unmet user needs. In 2026, winners will use immersive interfaces like AI, VR, and native ad formats that blend seamlessly with the editorial content to combat user fatigue. And you can use AI discovery with optimization, like as users shifts from the search bars to AI assistants, teams must adapt to, their creatives, metadata, and semantic markup. So the AI engines recommend their app as a primary answer to user queries or something like that. So that's all on my end. And if you wonder more data and statistic from 2025, you can reach out to me and ask me.
Yeah, I would definitely reach out to you and ask you. Thank you for the all the data and the statistics. I think it's
Thank
really
you.
workable. Thank you. So,
Thank
Elena,
you.
my next question is to you. How did AI generated creatives and the focus on creative rate of efficiency reshape app advertising in 2025? And second part of the question is what should we advertisers optimize in 2026 to optimize to drive sustainable growth?
Okay, thank you for your question. That's an interesting question, actually. And it continues my previous point about the impact of AI in 2025. Over the last few years, mobile marketing has been moving more and more towards return on investment per user, in my opinion. Advertisers used to work mainly with CPA or CPI models, but today the focus is much broader. ROAS, payback periods, and other profitability metrics are becoming central to decision making. That Champagne, I clearly see the shift. Clients increasingly come to us asking for traffic sources that support deeper optimization. And in practice, we also see better results, obviously, in channels where we can actually calculate financial performance, not just installs or clicks. At the same time, AI tools have dramatically reduced the cost of creative production, as already was mentioned many times during this call, and this changed a lot again. Lower production costs means more tests, more ideas, more theories, and much faster processes. We can launch MVP creatives, test many variations, voiceovers, generate banners, and iterate much quicker than before. And this naturally increases the speed of learning. But however, we also have a risk here. With the rise of AI generated content, we can see what is often called AI slop, content that looks technically correct but feels generic. Users are slowly developing blindness to this type of creatives, and that's why the balance is crucial here. We always need to ask, will this AI-focused production model actually pay off? How many users will stay and how many might leave if the in-app experience doesn't match the promise that was in the AI creative? I would say that the industry is once again moving away from the idea of perfect creatives. Most of us already know how UGC and more native formats outperform polished ads because they feel more real. And now we are adding another layer on top of that, production scale and speed. So instead of perfection, the new priorities, in my opinion, are fast production, quick analysis, and immediate refresh. And because production costs are lower, we can increase creative rate of efficiency, not just by producing more assets, but by learning faster and replacing weak creatives sooner. AI-generated content plays a key role here by accelerating the entire cycle. I also see that many large platforms are building their algorithms around creative signals. An ad will work or not is often decided based on the early creative performance. And again, we only works if we can keep the speed of production and refresh. So, what's a practical recommendation for 2026? I think it's important to use AI to enhance your workflow, but not to replace it, and explore different tools, find the one that truly fit your product and your process, but keep strategy and decision making on the human side still. AI helps us to move faster and test more, but the responsibility for direction, balance, and long-term value still stays with us. I think so.
Yeah, great answer, Elena. Really, you covered each angle of the question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will get to the question and answers part shortly. Feel free to drop your question in a Q&A box as we go. So my last question will be to everyone. Looking to 2026, if app teams could strain only one core capability, creative, data, tech, or go-to-market, Which should it be, and why will it be matter most for the sustainable growth? If you choose one, creative, data, tech, or go-to-market, which should it be? I think, like personally, I would select the data part because, like creative, there's already a fatigue, and tech is like already a somewhere. But let's deep dive and like learn about more. And I would straighten my data part to analyze it better and make my strategy more precise. But I don't know. It's my opinion. What do you guys thinking? Mukul, do you
So
wanna?
I was waiting for Sasha to go first. So yeah, in my opinion, I do. So in my opinion, yes, I do agree to the fact that you've mentioned about data because 2025 was all the buzz around AI, and I was few months ago I was in Silicon Valley for an AI event that was SaaStr, and
Mhm.
seeing AI all over the place, it kept me thinking like all the peoples have access to same kind of tools, similar automation, and also let's say similar creative generation. Like Sasha mentioned a lot about creatives, so it's also easier to get those creatives with different AI driven tools. So the edge to be on top is very competitive now. And in 2026, I feel that it will be more about user generated content, and people will be relying on, let's say, automated bidding in the ad algorithms and more towards privacy driven models. So speed would always be there, but at the same time, it has to be right set of decisions that have to be taken upon by humans that are managing those AI. So right data with the right collection of analytical thinking would really make the difference in this very sphere, because at the end of the day, for any business, it's always about which kind of users are being profitable for them, which kind of users are bringing better LTV over the course of time when they're spending their budget. So that is these are the key points wherein that leads to a brand where they can put their next dollar in. So I feel like data with the right set of technology has to be very well adopted and has to be very well thought of in the decision making for any brands to spend their budgets on.
Great answer. Thank you so much, Mukul.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else who would like to answer?
Um, I think I would say data also. And I think because if you think about it, the quantity, the huge vast amount of volume that companies are producing right now is unscalable way to actually go forward, because then the budget is spread between there's thousands and thousands of creators, meaning that you lose money on testing the creators which do not work. And I believe in 2026 we'll see these systems emerge that actually can predict win rate and can increase the win rate of AI ads, which I believe is the main constraint right now. You can produce huge amount of volume, but AI generated ads, AI GCs, they have lower win rate, which makes them in many ways less performing, and still the majority of ad spend is going towards real ads right now, real UGCs. And so I believe the data will be used to actually reduce cost per winner and increase the win rate for AI ads. So I think in this way, the data will be the main leverage this year.
Okay. Another data came from Sasha.
Yeah, I also stay with data. I also stay
Yay.
with data. Yeah, team of data. I think this would be the main goal for me to squeeze the maximum of data, and more specifically, the ability to turn all the experience into data and data into clear decisions, I would say. Because in mobile marketing, we all have experience, campaign results, creative tasks, platform learnings, but without proper data transformation, this experience, I think, stay fragmented. And when we structure it correctly, it becomes a foundation for everything that comes next. And with strong data, we can move forward with confidence. We can build creative strategies, analyze the creative market and competitors, and design go-to-market strategies based on real signals, not just assumptions. And of course, I think marketing always includes some level of luck, but data helps us to reduce this uncertainty. Instead of like moving blindly, we can clearly see what works, what doesn't, and where the real opportunities are. And data is also connects all parts of a system. It links creative to performance, performance to user behavior, and user behavior to revenue. And this makes growth more predictable, I think, and more sustainable. So my choice is data.
Thank you for the answer. Another tick for the data team.
Yes.
Çağatay, would you like to have a comment?
So I will be like choosing creative strategy, not the data, because
Yeah.
I want to provide an alternative. So especially, the creative, especially the ability to build a high velocity creative experimentation system. Creative strategy is important because the technical excellence has been commoditized. Platforms, algorithms have largely stabilized and now function as black boxes. The creative itself has become our targeting mechanism. So the algorithm now looks like who engage with your visuals to decide who to show your app to next. So I would like to provide like three reasons why is the most critical pillar is creative for the sustainable growth. Solving the creative fatigue crisis is important. From our data from 2025, creative fatigue cycles have collapsed. In many cases, a winning ad now only delivers few days impact before the performance drop off a cliff. You cannot survive this environment with a traditional monthly production cycle. So, sustainable growth in 2026 belongs to teams that treat creatives as a core infrastructure, leveraging AI to automate productions of the hundreds of variations to find few high-performing hooks. The second thing is we have to stop thinking the people are not only competing with the apps in their own niche. They are all competing with all categories and mobile games or non-gaming, it doesn't matter. They are all competing for the attention budget. To win, your creative must adopt gaming mechanisms. So we are seeing a massive shift towards the playable ads and interactive journeys. Even for fintechs and health apps in the market, they are using these kind of interactive ads to experience core value before they install. So if your creative doesn't provide the instant environment for utility, you have already lost the user. So in an AI-driven market, your tech stack is just table stakes. So your only unique asset is your ability to create emotionally resonant, behavior-driven content that connects with a user's intent faster than your competitor. 2026 is the year we stop being, like media buyers, start being audience architects through our creatives.
Yeah.
And that's all.
It was a good angle to cover. Thank you so much, Çağatay.
Thank you. Thank you very
So,
much.
now we are in Q&A part. I see only one question directed to Mukul. If you have any question, please feel free to post it in the chat, dear attendees. So, Mukul, does your SDK track AdMob events and give accurate LTV for ad revenue? Sagar asked you.
Perfect. So yeah, we do support ad impression level ad tracking based on that. And especially for ad mob, it depends upon the kind of integration configuration. But yes, From a measurement standpoint, we provide the cohort level LTV that has been requested, and teams actually work on it a lot. So I'll be happy to connect after the webinar and walk you through the detailed setup for that.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So I think we don't have any more questions. Thanks, Sagar, for the question. Is there anyone to would like to add something? Or we pretty much covered everything.
Do you think that creative producers and UA managers or performance marketers roles will overlap more in this year?
Yeah, like overlap. You,
In terms of responsibilities and yeah.
yeah, I think there are lots of things to do now as a UA manager for UA and ASO part. There are lots of things to test, lots of things to compare. This is why I think data is getting more and more important. Um, yeah, the AI definitely helps us to analyze it better, to test it better, but also make it a little bit difficult us in manner of fatigue and increasing CPMs and competition. So we need to act wise and just get our position for the 2026.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any questions? Yes. How can teams optimize campaigns to balance scale and user quality when CPA is rising? My question would be, so what is your KPI? Would be first question to this question. If CPI is raising, like what's your, is it subscription app? Is it purchase app? Like, is it game, etc.? And after having the ROAS related events, you should be always consider about one key event that is linked with ROAS, whether it is yearly trial start for the yearly subscription, or opening the homepage, etc. Any event that is linked to your ROAS. After finding this key event, you should consider to drop the cost of that event. So CPA might be rising, but maybe you are earning more money. And in order to look at it, we should look at ROAS. And in order to check better with ROAS data, you should always consider one or two key events. This would my answer. Is there anyone else who would like to answer?
Yeah, and yes, adding to what you just said, you totally covered all the pointers. And I feel like post what you mentioned, it has also to do with the audience segmentation. So once you see the CPA rising, you need to filter your audience depending on the events that you have been tracking and how far the user is from the paywall. So depending on that, and then running customized campaigns on those audiences would really make a difference in this.
Yeah, right. I think we covered all the questions. So thank you so much to our panelists to sharing such practical and honest insights. What really stood out today is that in 2025, growth didn't come from doing more. It came from doing the right things better, unfortunately. Yeah, it would be so easy if making like more means like more success, but it's not. AI, creative scale, and data are now table stakes. The real advantage is how teams connect them to efficiency, revenue, and long-term impact. As we look to 2026, focus and execution will matter more than ever, especially the execution part. Choosing the right core capability to invest in and aligning teams around it will be the key to sustainable growth in an increasingly competitive market. Thank you all for joining and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, everybody.